Hi everyone, welcome back to Metanoia. My name is Carrie Jane. In the last video we talked about the 7 life path child, so now it's time to talk about the 8 life path child. If you haven't done so already, please go to the beginning of this playlist to watch my video on the Children of Gaia, which is the introduction to the series. And I hope that what I can say today about the 8 life path child is illuminating in some way, or helpful in some way, or even healing in some way for some of you who are using these videos as a means to understand yourself better as a child. So, let us begin. The 8 Life Path Child, if you have watched my Life Path Number series already, you already know this, but the 8 Life Path Childs is the executive. And so they're here to master the physical world. There's a lot of things that come up from this, as does with all our individual mastery. So in this video, we're going to discuss what can come up and then what we should keep our minds on in order to help certain things from happening, like preventative measures, as well as fostering what your child is probably already very naturally good at. So the thing that we want to focus on for this child is to help them develop a good relationship with finances. We want them to have a future that's financially secure, but we also want them to have a life that is fulfilling in other ways, fulfilling relationships, fulfilling experiences, because these are part of our physical world as well. And so the first bullet that I have here on my notes, it says, show your child what has value. Okay, so there's this quote I really like that says, we know the price of everything and the value of nothing. And as I've talked about before, the 8 life path just tends to have some sort of negative relationship with money in one way or another. It tends to be polarized. It's like, this person doesn't have nearly enough money to live. This person has too much money. They're like kind of hoarding it. They're chasing money. So maybe neither. Maybe just this person has not, just doesn't care, is just out of the game, so to speak. They have not invested and are kind of just floating around the ethers. Whatever the case, it's just a common thing that comes up. So teach your children what is valuable, truly. And that's a hard thing to do, I think, but there's a lot of things that you can do, but I'm going to be kind of specific and also kind of vague like I have in certain videos, just because there's no two children that are alike here, and when it comes to something like this, only you are going to know the right thing to say, the right thing to do in the moment. I have here, show your child what has value, and teach them fiscal responsibility. It would be really cool to have your child managing something on their own, something that they can work on their own and experience, kind of like pretending to be the executive on their own. And if they are very much true to their life path number from an early age, they might even be a little bit bossy at school or something, because they'll feel this need to take charge or manage something. So having that outlet for them at a young age, I think, would be really cool. And there's so many ways you can do this. You can have, like, I myself would like to potentially foster kids one day, so I've like seen certain things online and like took a mental note of it. But like, I saw this really cool like chore chart one day where, those things that you see where it's like there's a specific chore and amount that child receives for the chore, and then like there's a week by week thing, and they like put dollar bills or whatever in the slots of the chores that they did, and it's like an organized system. Something like that would be really fulfilling. It teaches them the value of responsibility. It teaches them that whatever they put in is what they're going to get. So that helps the side of it of being in lack, not knowing how to manage your money, not knowing, how to accrue savings, not knowing the value of what you've put forward. That will cover that. And then maybe you could, I don't know, help them or at least allow them have their own kind of little business going. So when I was 8 years old, I liked to make jewelry and I would sell it at the beach. And I would turn a $20 bead set that my mom gave me into $100. And I bet in some strange way there's still a tiny, tiny fraction of my current savings that was from that part of my childhood. And I was just very fiscally responsible. I do have 1/8 in my chart. And I do, my 8 is kind of like a Saturn type of energy, and Saturn's in my first house, so I understand responsibility a little bit too much. But like I got a lot from that experience because it's like it was something that I worked at every day, but it was also something that I enjoyed. It was such a fulfilling experience. It was an experience for me to explore my creativity, to interact with other people, because who doesn't want to talk to a cute 8-year-old sitting at the beach selling bracelets, So I learned how to, kind of build a relationship with people in that way, in that kind of setting where you're in your executive role and someone else is a customer. And so it wasn't just that I was learning fiscal responsibility and how to like make money. It was like I was learning the value of that too. So an experience like that is really good for your 8 life path child. The next bullet that I have here on my notes is to teach them that adversity is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. And so I'm saying this because the 8 life path also has a tendency to fall into victim mentality because of the nature of this number and because they do face adversity a lot in one way or another. And by showing them that that is actually an opportunity to learn and to grow and to develop as a human being, they're going to come out of that tenfold. Like they're going to come out of that and turn it into something even better than the average person could because of the nature of this life path number. So yeah, don't shelter them from difficulties, just show them that this is what's going on right now and this is what we're going to learn from it and this is how we're going to get past it. Having that healthy kind of outlook on adversity is really important. And also what I would like to mention is that the 8 life path has a tendency also to see everything in black and white. Like there's just no gray area. I've seen this happen time and time again. I'm not exactly sure why, except that duality is kind of in the nature of the vibration, good versus bad, light versus dark. I don't know, the endless list of dualities, and it's like it may work for them in some areas, but also it's very limiting. It's a very limiting mindset, and they can do better than that. I don't want them limited in any way. I want them to be able to really look at the world as their oyster, and it's not just like this or that and that's it. So I guess just your kid, see if you see that in them, and then try to show them the spectrum that life is. It's not all black and white. There is a huge gray area. So I wrote here that they will not be able to experience the full spectrum that life is, including the quality of life, if this is what happens to them. And that's not what they're here to do. They're here to experience the quality of life, and that is a spectrum. It's not just black and white. I hope I'm making some sense here. And that's just, we want to just try to avoid that mindset as much as we can. There's so much more to the world, I wrote here, than good versus bad, right versus wrong, and fact versus myth. It's just, it's kind of like even a false reality to think in that kind of way. And we want to all, honestly, be grounded in something much, much deeper than that in order to get to where we're meant to go in this life. And then last but not least, I wrote here that the 8 is a very powerful number. Your child, either at their current state or somewhere in the future, will have the power to do things. They could decide to affect change. They could decide to, volunteer in some way, and to not volunteer, but create something that has a positive impact in this world. And I would really love to see the 8 life path understanding the value of that more than just chasing money. I think the worst thing that the 8 life path could do is just chase money for the sake of chasing money so that they can just hoard stuff and then have all these nice things and then that's it. Like, they're not going to be happy that way. They're not going to be happy in that consumerism mentality, like all of us would not be, like all of us do, and sometimes to ourselves, even though we're not in any life path situation. And so I wrote here that show them how to contribute positively, and how this creates ripple effects and how that circles back to them, and how this should fill them with pride in their work. The circling back to them part is very, very important, because the 8 is a very karmic number, so it is going to circle back to them. That's why you see a lot of 8 life path celebrities go from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. It's like very karmic here. It's just immediate, really. Sometimes, maybe not immediate always, but in one way or another, this is what we see. I wrote here, this way, when they're older, it's not just about chasing something, but the impacts that they have and the purpose and meaning that they have behind it. So I think that when the 8 life path is walking in meaning and purpose more than anything that I just explained in this video, they will be able to develop into the truly talented, amazing, powerful beings that they are. And yeah, I hope that what I said in this video was helpful to you in some way. And please let me know, as always, if you have any questions. And if you would like to schedule a reading with me, or if you would like to follow me on any of my social media accounts, or if you want to know how to support this channel in any way, please visit the links in the description. That's all in there. Stay tuned for the 9 life path number as a child. Hopefully I'll get to do that soon, and I hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, just thank you again all so much. Hope you're doing okay, and take care.